Right, let's go. Hi guys, welcome to the lesson on how to play the solo from Married with Children. Awesome track from the first Oasis album. Yeah, I've already gone through the chord sequence, so you know, just watch that video to get the chords underneath. But basically, it's the key of E major. So like a lot of the solos I've already done, we've got an E major pentatonic feel. We're predominantly going to be E major pentatonic position 5, which is the shape that everyone knows, but move back, you know, 3 frets. I will put a link in the description for that shape, and I will also put a link in the description for position 4, which is the other shape we use, although we realistically only use like and that note from position 4, but I'll put links in the description to both, where I've just done very short videos on how to play those scales. Definitely learn them if you love this style of music, particularly if you love Noel Gallagher. You know, he uses a lot of major pentatonics. He does use minor pentatonics, but he uses a lot of major pentatonics. If you just flick through some of my videos, quite often you'll hear me say, here he is playing, you know, C major pentatonic or whatever. So definitely have a look. Okay, cool. So let's get on with the solo. Really, really, really cool solo. Love it. It's got a kind of almost, I don't know really, almost kind of a Hendrixy kind of, that kind of a more feel, but we don't have the double stops basically. So it's a really cool solo. So first thing we're going to do, so we've got, we don't hit on the beat, we're on the and of 1, so that's the first thing to remember. So we're not starting, you know, right on that first beat, it's just half a beat afterwards. If you listen to the track you can hear that, if you listen to me playing the solo you can hear that. I played the 2 parts separately for that video, so hopefully I synced them up perfectly. So the first move we're going to do is a slide from 9 to 11 on the A string. So what we're going to do really is just work our way up the scale, the major pentatonic, E major pentatonic scale. We start with that slide here, okay? So then what we're going to do is we're then going to hit 9 on the D string, then 11 on the D string, then 9 on the G string. So that's our first little bit of walking up the scale. Then back to that 11 on the D string, then back to 9 on the G string. So pretty simple stuff so far. It's just walking up that scale. This note here, okay, so this is an F sharp note, so that is the second note in the scale. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend it to this G note, which is just, it's an unusual note to hit over an E chord, but it kind of works over the chords that we're getting, okay? So F sharp to that G note. And that's what we're going to do. So it's a, you know, I always try and get your fingers in the right position. You want to have at least 2 fingers doing the bend. I have my first finger here deadening strings, my thumb over the top. I'm trying to get this part of the knuckle on the bottom here so that it's a hand and arm movement. You can't see my arm, but my arm's basically moving as well, because otherwise it really tires your hand out. We don't want to get RSI or even just knackered hands playing lots of bends when we're playing gigs. So we've got 2 bends where we bend it up, just that semitone. Not very fast as well, as you can hear. And what I'm doing there to kill it properly is I'm using left hand muting and right hand muting. So as I go up, I release my left hand a little bit just to kill the note, and I kind of move my hand and use my thumb there to just deaden that note as well. I do both. And then the third bend is an up and down. And then we're going to hit the root note. Classic. Why wouldn't you hit the end on the root note? And that's an E note there, which is 9th fret on the G string as an E note. And that's lick 1. It's basically, it's a walk up the scale and then 3 bends, and then you resolve it to the root. But it sounds great. Okay, that's lick 1. So it's very similar to the third lick we're going to do as well, but just slightly different. But I love that. If you can get a friend to just play the chord sequence underneath, which the E, G sharp major, C sharp minor, A major, underneath that, it just sounds fantastic. Cool, next lick, it fits really nicely after that first lick where we've gone high. We're now going to go low in pitch. So we start on the 9th fret on the on the 9th fret on the A string. So this is the same thing again. What we've got here is we've got an F sharp note that we're going to bend to a G note. It's just a tone. I'm going to pull down here. I don't have a finger deadening because I don't need to, because I'm pulling down. You know, some people don't realise, but basically pulling down or pushing up, it doesn't make any difference basically. You just got to pick which makes most sense. Obviously here bending up doesn't make sense because I might go off the fretboard. So 9th fret, it's going to be a semitone bend, so we're going to hit that note. Just a little bend, and again we're going to kill it. And it's a slow bend, and then we go back to 9, an F sharp note, okay? And then the next 4 notes are simple. We're going to, still on the A string, we're going to play 9, then 7, and then 9, and then 7, basically. And that's that lick. That's the root note again. So we're ending on the root note. You know, again, if you've watched lots of my videos, or if you know lots of Noel Gallagher solos, this is something I've just started talking about, but he so often ends on that root note. And so this E note here, just as we hit the E chord, you know it's going to sound good. And then to finish off this lick, this is the bit that probably took me the longest of this solo. It wasn't too bad, but this is the lick that's slightly different. I think it's a hammer-on, but it's quite a fast hammer-on, and that's going to be 9 on the A string to 11 on the A string, obviously. You could do it as a slide, and it still sounds fine actually, but I think it's a hammer-on in the song. Okay, so that's basically the first hammer-on. First time we did it as a slide, this time we're doing it as a hammer-on. Then we're going to play 9 on the D string, then back to 11 on the A string. Then we're going to play 9 on the A string. We're going to play it twice. First one's slightly longer. Okay, then we're going to move our hand back and play 7, 9, 7. So lots of similar bits in that section, but just slightly different. So the second bit there, sorry, would be like that basically. So that's the only bit that I found a little bit complicated, and getting that synced up perfectly over the backing track I found a little bit difficult, but you know, it's not actually that difficult a lick. Again, as I mentioned, that's probably just me. Okay, so that's lick 1 and 2, really. They're quite long licks, but they're quite slow, so I'll play the whole solo through at the end nice and slowly. So that's lick 1 and 2. So lick 3 is very similar to lick 1. We're going to start in the same way. We're going to slide 9 to 11 on the A string. This again doesn't start on the first beat of the bar. This actually starts on the second beat of the bar, really, because it's quite a fast slide. Again, with all of those, and with the other ones as well, you could do it as a hammer as well. It would work just as fine as a hammer, and I think choose the one you prefer. Again, I think it's a slide, but it works fine with a hammer. 9 to 11. Then it's going to be 9 on the D, 11 on the D. We've done this before. Okay, then 9 on the G. But then rather than going back, we're going to go straight into the bends. We're going to do the bends just the same. It's going to be a semitone bend on the 11th fret. We're going to do 3 of them. The first 2 just up, and then the third one up and down, and then we resolve to the root. Okay, so that's that third lick. It's a pretty simple lick compared to the first one. You know, it's almost exactly the same. So if you can play the first one, you're basically just missing out 2 notes, and then you've got that one. Sounds good though. And then the final lick. Really love that. I don't know why. I think it's because I don't use this position a lot when I'm soloing. I mean, I play in some, you know, in a blues band, and you try and use those major pentatonics when you can, but it's a really cool lick, you know. So it's over the... So it fits in really, really nicely, and of course we resolve to the root as we normally do, and he slides down to you know, to nothing basically. So it's got all those elements that make it sound cool. Anyway, so 7th fret on the B string now. So again, this could be get the right note. This could be a slide. I think it's a hammer-on, but feel free if you think it's a slide to do it as a slide. I listen to it like a 50% using on YouTube, and sometimes it's harder to tell like slides and hammer-ons if they're quite fast when you're slowing it down. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, I'm going to do it as a hammer-on, but if you prefer to do it as a slide, that is fine as well. 7 to 9 on the B string, 7 on the E string, okay, then 9 on the B, then 7 on the B, then 7 on the B, then 9 on the G string, which is our root note. I vibrato, slide away to nothing. I think in my book, as I've got the tab book, the Definitely Maybe tab book, it says a slide away to 2nd fret. So if you want to hit that A note, you go for it, but I just slide away to wherever, slide away to nothing. And so that's that final lick. Cool, so let me play, quickly play the solo through for you slowly. I can't, just terrible English. Right, let's go for it. So, and that's it. Roll my volume off. So yeah, that is the solo. It is only an 8-bar solo, so it's quite a short one. Sounds great though. The rest of the song, obviously there's a lot of soloing over the top, but if you use that position and you use those ideas, a lot of the time you will be hearing the kind of those are just a couple of licks I picked out. Very, very similar to the solo. So you can use the concepts from the solo to ad lib over the top. And I think really they should be ad libs. You could learn them obviously completely, but I think it sounds better if you just ad lib. That's the position you use. Volume up a bit more. Major pentatonic position 5, and then you want to resolve to the E notes when you can, basically, and then you're going to have a kind of Noel Gallagher feel. And that's how I'd improv over the rest of the song. Mostly just over the verse section, so over that E to G sharp, C sharp minor, A, C, B, E, that section. Cool. Anyway, so love this song, love this solo, really enjoyed learning it. Probably learnt it in about half an hour because I could hum it already, which really helps. I'm going to move on to another solo. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I've got a couple. I think I've only got 2 or 3 more requests to go through. I've got a couple of Oasis songs and a Stone Roses song that I'm going to try and look at, and then I might get on to doing some other stuff that's not songs, maybe just some licks or something like. Someone's asked for some blues licks. Yeah, so hopefully I'll get some of that done soon. As usual, I know it's a bit cheesy at the end, but please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and please comment on the video. Even if you just comment, cool, or your grey jumper's silly, it doesn't matter. It all really, really helps because it helps you move up the rankings on YouTube and stuff. So I really appreciate it. If you could head over and like me on Facebook, I've nearly got 100 likes. I know I'm super famous, and again, that really, really helps me as well if you can go and do that. And I will see you guys soon. Enjoy learning this solo, it's really good fun, and if you play in a band and you can fit this in as a cover, do, because it's an awesome song and people love it. And it's really, I love the melancholy lyrics. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye bye.